don't think, as much as I love the Wizards, I don't think they have what it takes to go to the NBA final. They've got a lot of great teams ahead of them. If they want to leapfrog and go to the NBA finals in a dream scenario, it would be great. It would be great to have the Suns and the Wizards in the NBA finals. But I honestly, I don't think it's going to happen. Can
what would you do if it did happen?
If it did, I would.
Ed. You're avoiding the question.
Okay.
In a dream world, would it occur? What would you do? What would be going through your emotions and your mind and everything?
I wouldn't even know who to root for. I'd be so conflicted. It'd be so. Gosh, I wouldn't even know who to go for. I'd want.
So in other words, it would probably be me, as I was with the Cardinals and the Packers situation. Yes,
you would. It would be like you in when the Bucks and the Packers played in the NFC Championship.
Oh yes, that oh my goodness.
Yeah, you were a wreck that day.
A rush of emotions, Ed. Yeah, yes, exactly.
You were an absolute wreck that day.
Yeah, I was. Truth, yeah. I was.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking NFL, you catch the NFL draft then?
Of course, yes.
So a lot has happened. There were a lot of things went down with the draft. So I want to go ahead and kick it off. What was your most surprising out of the draft for you, Ed?
Well, at least for the Cardinals, the fact that they had so much talent out there from a wide receiver standpoint that they could have picked from. I think the young man that they picked, the young man from Tulsa with their first draft pick, I think he's going to be a solid linebacker because I know they've got some fluctuations as far as their linebacker core is concerned. But getting Zaven Collins from Tulsa, I think that'll be a good addition for them because Hassan Reddick he moved on to the Carolina Panthers. We don't know what Chandler Jones, what his situation is going to be from a health standpoint. Will Marcus Golden come back and have another solid season? So there's question marks at the linebacker position for the Arizona Cardinals. So I can see why Steve Keim and the Cardinals and Michael Bidwell took Zaven Collins, the 6'5", 259-pounder from Tulsa with the 16th pick. But I would have thought they would have maybe went after a guy like Kadarius Toney, the young man, the wide receiver from Florida that went to the New York Giants. We don't know what's going to happen with Larry Fitzgerald, whatever he decides to do for his season. But I would have thought maybe they would have wanted to add to their wide receiver core, and Toney would have been out there if they would have wanted to pick him. But they clearly wanted to go defense, and that's why they picked Zaven Collins. Kind of looking down, not surprising is so many guys that got picked from the Crimson Tide in the first round. Did we not think that we knew that Alabama was going to represent, as they always do every single year? It's unbelievable. They just churn out NFL players, Johanna, and they're successful players.
Yeah, but do you perceive that to be anything less, especially who they have as their coach?
No.
Come on.
Yeah.
Really?
That's what Nick Saban does. He just churns out products. They win championships, and these guys move on to bigger and better things in the NFL. With the Steelers picking Najee Harris over Travis Etienne, did that kind of surprise you? Did you think that maybe the Steelers would have went over Etienne? I'm kind of thinking like who would have been a better fit for the Steelers or the Jaguars? I like Etienne going to Jacksonville, obviously because now he can team back up with his teammate again and Trevor Lawrence. He can team back up with him. I like that pick for the Jaguars.
Yeah, that was good.
What stood out to you like in any of these rounds?
In any of these? Oh my gosh, I don't know.
The way the first three picks came out, I knew that was going to happen. Three quarterbacks, Trevor Lawrence goes to Jacksonville, Zach Wilson goes to the Jets, Trey Lance goes to the 49ers. So I knew that three quarterbacks were going to go 1, 2, 3, and that's exactly how it happened. A lot of people were surprised that the Falcons picked Kyle Pitts, the tight end from Florida, but Kyle Pitts is an absolute monster. He is going to come in there and contribute immediately for the Atlanta Falcons. I love Jamar Chase going to the Cincinnati Bengals. He'll be a great target for Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow knows him pretty well. They played together.
I'm just looking over this and I'm like, it was a good draft. But one of the things that I will say that I am excited for in our good and great friend PLR is also because he just went on about it the whole entire weekend is the Chicago Bears getting a quarterback. That's something that there was an extreme need for the Bears.
Sure.
So,
yes.
Yeah. So, well, hopefully, not trying to jinx anything or whatever, but, that comes out being, a great turnout for the Bears. We've seen how that's been for them these last seasons. and that turns out to be a great success for them.
And my good friend James Poovey, one of my fellow broadcasters, one of my broadcast brothers, he talked about he's a huge Denver Broncos fan. So Patrick Surtain II going to the Denver Broncos at number 9, that was another great pick, another great pickup for the Denver Broncos. I loved the way that young man played for the Crimson Tide. He is a shutdown corner. I love the way he plays, and he's going to go to Denver and just destroy opposing wide receivers and whoever he goes up against. I love Patrick Surtain. So yes, JP, yeah, Patrick going to Denver is a really good pick. I'm just looking like in the later rounds. Anything kind of stand out to you?
One of the things was how we had like all of, the trades within the pick. It was just kind of like boom. Mm-hmm. Like we had the Cowboys, they traded their pick to the Eagles, so then they dropped down.
Yes, yeah.
So we had also the Giants, the same thing. They traded their pick to the Bears, which that's where they picked up.
That's where they got Justin Fields. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Those were kind of little, those were surprising to me to see, because I wouldn't think that the Giants would go ahead and trade their pick to the Bears, to be honest, or even the Cowboys trading their pick to the Eagles. So those for me were surprises, because I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like, why would you want to do that?
Because the Eagles wanted to get Devontae Smith. They wanted to get the Heisman Trophy winner.
I can see it, but it was just like, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
So, but I'm just saying, I know what the Eagles wanted, but the Cowboys, like.
Why would they do a deal with one of their NFC East brethren, right? Why would you want to do a deal with the Cowboys?
Yeah, why would you want to?
One guy that I think could.
12, and they ended up getting Michael Parsons.
Yes.
From Penn State. He has good speed.
Oh yeah, Nittany Lion. Yes.
They still got someone good and something that they definitely need. But it's just that one for me was definitely a head scratcher from the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm. One pick that I liked in the 3rd round is Trey Sermon, the running back from Ohio State, going to the San Francisco 49ers. Another great Buckeye running back. I think he'll do really well with the 49ers under Kyle Shanahan. He's going to fit in there really well for San Francisco. I'm just kind of Amon-Ra St. Brown. I like that. A 4th round pick for the Detroit Lions. He went 7th in the 4th round. He was really solid for the Trojans. So I think Detroit's they got a really good pick, a steal for him in the 4th round.
Just want to go ahead and we're talking, and I'm going to go ahead and bring it up. So then we can go ahead into our next segment in here, because we're running close on time. So I want to go ahead and move this along with the last segment of our for the NFL that we have here is talk a little bit of Green Bay Packers, talk a little bit about the draft and their selections there, because they ended up getting a cornerback, wide receiver, and a couple of cornerbacks, linebackers. So just, to name a couple of, things we didn't, of course we didn't see a quarterback in there, but it seems like they actually have some of the needs met of what, the Packers indeed needed, mm-hmm. and something that Aaron Rodgers has been, kind of asking for a little bit.
So they needed a wide receiver, like an inside linebacker, an outside linebacker, a defensive end, and a cornerback. And they got a wide receiver, the linebacker, and the cornerback. So they addressed at least 3 of their 5 needs.
Mm-hmm. So where does this put now? I'm going to go ahead and take it there.
Okay.
We're running short on time. So where do, you're my NFL guy here. You dive into it a little bit more than I do. But where do you see the Packers in their draft picks? And where does this put them with Aaron Rodgers? And we'll go ahead and, we see that Aaron Rodgers is now, giving the Packers and trying to divorce them, and how we've just seen how the story has been unfolding and just escalating from day to day to day. With that situation, is there any saving grace by the Packers in their selections by, any chance, and maybe trying to be able to retain Aaron Rodgers? Because we see that in the news and what's been transpiring, that Aaron Rodgers doesn't want to come back, and he's not coming back from per sources that have disclosed he's not returning to the Packers. So it's either going to be, more than likely, it seems like it's going to be retiring, which that would definitely break my heart, being a huge, not only a Packers fan, but being a huge Aaron Rodgers fan.
Well, let me start with you. Give me your feelings. Being a cheesehead, how would that feel for you if Aaron eventually gets traded, or if he does retire? I don't think he's going to retire. He just came off an MVP season, Johanna. He's far from being done. He's not done. So if it's not in Green Bay, it's going to be somewhere else, because he clearly does not want to return to the Green Bay Packers. it started with that Jordan Love pickup. And it got worse because they made some personnel moves. They released a player, one of his favorite wide receivers that he had really fallen in love with, but they had released him and he wasn't happy about that. He was not consulted on that. He wanted to have more consultation on personnel moves. And he's not enamored with the general manager of the Green Bay Packers clearly from that standpoint. It's really heading for a messy divorce, and that NFC Championship game and the friction that he had with Matt LaFleur, the Packers head coach, that didn't make things that much easier as far as the relationship stands with the Packers. It's just
that just made it even more. Yeah. And one of the conditions or requests that Aaron Rodgers had is to have the Packers fire their general manager, which is something that doesn't even seem that is a route that they are taking. So yes, it breaks my heart. Devastated. I would love to see Aaron Rodgers go ahead and continue his career and finish his career with the Green Bay Packers. But here's a stat that I came across over the weekend is Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre, and I can't remember the Packers quarterback before Brett Favre, but those two had not played more than 16 seasons with the team. Aaron Rodgers is in his 16th season. So there is a little bit of a trend there. We saw what happened with Jordan Love and same thing as with Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. So there's that dynamic there. So what I'm seeing is that Aaron Rodgers is going to indeed not come back to the Packers. I would love to see Aaron Rodgers go ahead and continue his career, not retire, because he has a lot more to give. And we saw what he went out and did in the playoffs in the NFC, how far he was able to take the Packers, and especially when everyone doubted him and didn't think that he was going to go as far, or thinking that his career was over. And look what he did. He made history. He broke records. So, you know that Aaron Rodgers has much more to give. And more than likely, where it seems like it may be facing him from rumors or what has been, said is that he's looking to come west. So it seems that, I know that I believe it was the 49ers who had expressed some interest in him. I believe it was it the Rams or another team? I can't recall right now who the other one was. I
wouldn't think it. The Rams have Matthew Stafford. I wouldn't think that they would have interest in Aaron Rodgers now. No.
I can't remember which team it was, but I
possibly
think it was another one.
Possibly the Raiders, Las Vegas.
Yeah, maybe. So
maybe Denver.
Where do I see Aaron Rodgers being in the West? I really would not know. The 49ers expressed, and they were clear that they will be keeping Jimmy. Jimmy's not going anywhere.
And they have Trey Lance now. Yeah.
Right. And then so they've made that clear that that's not going to be happening. So I don't know where I would see Aaron Rodgers if he does come west, where he would potentially go.
Yeah. I'm just
and if it's not that, which it seems that where he's leaning, possibly it could be retirement. And that's something I wouldn't want to see. And I would probably cry.
I mean, if you look west, you think the Cardinals are set with Kyler Murray. The Rams are set with Matthew Stafford. The 49ers, as you mentioned, they're going to keep Jimmy G, and they drafted Trey Lance for a reason, because you drafted. That's why you move up to the number 3 spot. You make all those moves in order to get up there and get Trey Lance, get that young man. Seattle was set with Russell Wilson. The only team I could see from West would be the Denver Broncos. Would he want to go to the Denver Broncos? Because the Chiefs are clearly set with Patrick Mahomes. The Raiders are set. That would be the only other team I would think. Is John Gruden, is he still with Derek Carr? Or would he like to have Aaron Rodgers if Aaron says, I'd like to go ahead and play at the Death Star. Yeah, I want to go to Las Vegas and play for the Las Vegas Raiders. And then the Chargers are set. They've got Justin Herbert, so they're set at quarterback. So those are the only two teams I would see, the Broncos and the Raiders, that would have a shot at getting Aaron Rodgers out west, because the other teams are set at quarterback.
Yeah. So that, we have the Seahawks situation. There's that too. That could be a possibility. Don't know. I haven't at least recently been followed how that, relationship has been there with their beloved quarterback with the Seahawks.
So from what I've read, everything seems okay. Pete Carroll has come out and said that things are much better as far as the relationship with the Seahawks and Russell Wilson is concerned. So it seems to be better. Take that for what it's worth from what Coach Carroll says. But if that's indeed the case, then the Seahawks are safe with Russell Wilson. We'll see. You can never bet against Russell completely turning around and then saying, okay, I want out now.
But if, we know if we go back to that, he was wanting the trade, he was wanting out, was it a possibility that there could maybe be something maybe there that could work out? So although it would break my heart even more seeing, if